we go, on our way back. I'm beginning to get better at these smaller hops to get you home.
Tell you what, I am stuffed.
Yeah, that was quite the meal we had there. What was the planet called?
Rendar Ply.
Thanks. Yeah, so will the people there be alright?
Oh yes, absolutely fine. A lovely 200 years ahead now that we've dealt with the Orntons. There'll be some trouble after that, but I've got that covered already.
In your past, right? Before you knew us?
Yeah, time travel always works out in the end.
Doctor?
Yeah, yes?
Well, you keep saying about all these things in your past. And we've probably got a bit of time before we get home, so I was thinking... perhaps...
Oh, are we asking her right now?
What? Asking me what?
Well, we kinda got talking when we were waiting at the palace for the Grand Inquisitor to show up, about how they have all their historical artifacts on show, but they wouldn't talk about them.
Oh, I see, right, yeah. So you want me to tell you about myself? Are you sure?
Well, they have got a point, Doc. I mean, you do go on a bit about who you've met and where you've been, all that wonderful, fantastic stuff, but you never tell us any of it. Not properly, anyway. And much as I know I can say that we all love travelling and seeing what we do, doing what we do, it'd be nice to hear some of that in detail.
Yeah. To get to know you a bit better. I mean, we're all great mates, and you're getting to know more about our lives before you... And your stories are probably more interesting than that time my dad thought that Netflix still rented DVDs.
Oh, right. I guess. Well, we do have a little while before we come back into the stream of 21st century history and start materialising back in Sheffield. So yeah, I could give you a story. Just a little one, mind you. Don't want to overdo it.
I'm sure you won't.
Right, story time. Maybe. Hans Christian Andersen? I did sort of help with a few lines here and there. No, too early. The 5 o'clock shadow? Might be a bit complicated.
What are you on about?
Sorry, just trying to think through some of my options. Land of Iambics. Might be thy undoing to articulate upon ye. Oh, I know. The Hodiac. That's one I could talk about.
Great, do that then.
Okay. Where to start with this one? Are we all sitting comfortably?
Hang on a tick. There we go. You know, I'm glad you took my advice about putting seats in here, even if they are stairs as well.
You and me both, Grandad.
So, well, it all started on a planet...
Hang on.
What?
Well, I just thought we could have a picture. I keep forgetting in amongst all the dragons and invasions.
Don't forget the Aztecs.
Yeah, and them. In fact, what is it about the Aztecs?
I don't know. TARDIS just keeps getting caught on them for some reason. Figure it out eventually. But yeah, photo with the fam. I like that.
All right, look, come over here then. I don't want to get back up now that I've sat down.
All ready?
Just about.
Dairy.
You what?
Oh wait, no, cheese. That's the one. Cheese.
Here we go. Cheese!
Let's see. Oh, that looks proper awesome.
Yeah, it does. Need to do those more often, I think.
Definitely. So, your story.
Ah, yes. As I was saying, it all started on a planet in a fancy room, as most of my stories do. Nice decor, gold, lots and lots of gold, ribbons and curtains, and those little lights that jut out from the side of the wall. A group of people in business suits were in the middle of the room, all of them gathered around computer terminals, checking figures, making amendments, calculating. Well, I think that's what they were supposed to be doing, but they were more concerned with jokes.
Of course, they put up the old money wall, but they didn't realise that we're in control of the ceiling. And the funniest thing of all, they're not even in the housing market.
Jessop, the Hodiak requires a report on today's trading.
Ah, yes, of course. Jenfold!
Yes. Well, as the Hodiak predicted, the 1,000-share index has broken all records, and our random stock purchase has trebled business in the past, the past 2 days. And the paper collapse is predicted as...
The Hodiak wishes to congratulate Matra Fiss, in particular.
Oh, me?
The Hodiak rejoices in your recent manipulation of the fuel market.
Thank you, madam. Oh, sir. Sorry, sir.
Indeed, as must your allies.
Allies?
Oh yes. The Hodiak is sure that your allies must be rejoicing.
Is there a problem, sir?
The Hodiak is aware that certain details of our business have been broadcast in the direction of receiving station in the control of parties involved in fuel trading. Specifically, those representing a certain body of financial inspectors.
Oh,
Impossible.
Details that were broadcast from your terminal, Matra, Fiss.
The Hodiak was a young man, but he did not look well, like really not well. His skin was dry and even burnt in some places, and he wore thick black glasses too. Well, I say glasses, more like a sort of visor. He did not walk on his own feet. He did not see through his own eyes, but he didn't have to.
Wishes to inform you that said transmissions were intercepted. Additionally, your employment rating is henceforth devalued.
on what right and evidence? You can't do this to me. What authority is there for this?
The word of the Hodiak is the only authority.
And the Hodiak removed his visor. Matra Fiss looked at his blind eyes and found he couldn't escape them. They were locked in his stare.
Your mind. His mind. His mind. And your mind. Two minds. And one
Dead, just like that. And the Hodiak didn't care, just put his visor back on.
Sounds utterly horrible.
Yes, I imagine it was.
The Hodiak wishes to.
I wish to inform you that the one I'm searching for has almost been found. Soon, she shall be within my arms, within me. She.
The Hodiak wishes you to be prepared. The Hodiak predicts that before she is found, the tungsten warriors will increase their prices.
Of course. To your work, gentlemen.
And the pair of them left the room, leaving all of the business people behind.
Hold on. So you weren't there for any of that, were you, though? So there has to be some way that you found all that out.
Ah, PC Khan, always asking the good questions. Yes, I wasn't there. Got that there to thank.
The telepathic circuit?
Yeah, sure. It can take us to your nanny.
And it came in proper handy with Tim Shaw.
And the translating stuff.
Yeah, okay. It does a lot. She's very clever at doing a lot, so she is. But what it also does, as well as all the other stuff, is it allows a link to the TARDIS and all the space-time data it collects. I mean, I used to have a really crafty visualizer thing that did the same thing, but I lost that in a game of poker with Crandall Thordyke and the Mystery Men.
The who?
Oh, after your time. Crandall Thordyke, that was a rough weekend. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted. So what I can do is link up to the telepathic circuits and look through events that are tied in some way to my own time stream.
So what? The TARDIS, picks up all the stuff that's happened and you can rewatch it like it's a sort of time travel goggle box?
Goggle box?
Don't ask. Just trust me on that.
Hey, it's not that bad. My dad watches it constantly.
Hang about, so if you can do that, then why don't you do it more often?
Because it's a dangerous thing to go poking about in one's own past, even at the Foundations. I only do it on really special occasions, otherwise I could end up getting myself lost inside the Matrix.
The Matrix? You mean you've got some sort of massive simulation-y thing where you can just live out history?
Not exactly, it's more like a big hard drive of events. The TARDIS collects them up and bundles them into the Matrix.
So, where is this Matrix thing then?
You're right, Doc.
What? Oh yeah, I'm fine. Just get lost in my thoughts for a moment.
Better that than inside the Matrix thingy.
Yeah. It's in the TARDIS somewhere, of course. Silly old Matrix kicking about in here somewhere.
Got it.
Anyway, where was I, Doctor? So the Hodiak and the woman. They left and went off to a separate room inside the vast financial complex. A much darker one. Think about a photographer's dark room, that kind of dark. Not a single bit of gold. Just blackness. The two of them moving through it.
Fools.
The Hodiak should know that the brokerage house is concerned about the involvement of the tungsten warriors.
Expected. But they should have sympathy. The warriors care only about the pay. That will satisfy.
The Hodiak is tired.
The other is out there, active, and she will know that I am circling through the vastness of all the worlds. Rhodia, Dravita 5, the Alban cluster, and next. The system of soul.
The Hodiak was determined. He would stop at nothing to find his other. Of course, this is where things get a bit complicated. Would you believe me if I said that a street on Earth in 1986 was important?
Well, given how you met us, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Fair point. Yes, a street on Earth in 1986, and a little girl and a man.
Nana! Oh, Nana! Penny for your thoughts?
Oh, Katy dear, sorry I was in a little world of my own there. Come on, we'd better get inside. There's a good girl. It's certainly going to rain soon. I can feel it in my bones.
Okay, Nana. Nana, can we have one of your stories? I like to hear your stories.
Perhaps not today. Nana's feeling very tired.
Aw, please, Nana. Please. Just one.
All right then, just one story. Now, you get before the storm breaks.
A story? Doesn't sound exciting.
Maybe not, but it certainly was important in some way. Meanwhile, the Hodiak continued his search far, far away.
Why is she hiding from me? Why is she scared? Somewhere, she is shining. My legs, the pain of my legs. The injection's too little to help now. My body is weak. Every exertion burns up my physical self, but I cannot stop until she is found. My exertions must continue until she is found. Then the pain shall fade away from me, and we shall know a peace beyond understanding. I am failing in the flesh. I have kept death away by footsteps with trinkets and equipment and injections and money. Do your work again. Before I find my other, I must find the Doctor.
Pride before a fall, chaps. First rule of the galactic stock market. Pride before a fall. Where are we at, Jerring?
Got it. Linear path established. Total paper clapped throughout the GSM. Total probability.
Oh, shut up, Jessop. Yeah, it's all perfect, isn't it? Totally perfect, handling other people's money. Piling up for them. Old people and old money. Look, it's our turn, Jessop. Without their money, all those old people, they'd be coming to us, kneeling and polishing our shoes for a change.
Jenfold, are you even listening to yourself right now, man?
Yes, right now. And think about it, if it's not our turn right now, then when will it ever be? The money's there and it slipped away from us long enough. We need to grab it, get our hard-deserved riches.
Yeah, riches. But what then? What after that?
So, the Hodiak was looking for you as well, and his... Marketeers were planning to double-cross him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even after what he'd already done to one of them.
Sometimes the promise of money outdoes worry. They couldn't have just ran. The Hodiak would have caught up with them in one way or another.
I get it. They wanted money to be able to buy their way to safety.
Oh, of course. That way, if he gave him the chase around, then they'd have plenty of space gadgets and bodyguards and stuff in between him and them. Right, Doc?
I imagine so. Anyway, at this point in time, well, I say time, at this point in relative structured time, triangulated within the vortex, I was in the TARDIS with a friend, Mel.
Mel? You've never mentioned her before.
She was a lovely woman, tech genius. The carrot juice wasn't so lovely, though.
Carrot juice? Really? Oh, I bet your face was quite a picture.
Yeah. I can look back on it and find it funny now. Wasn't so much at the time. Speaking of faces, I had quite a different one back then. The TARDIS looked pretty different too.
Doctor, I've been thinking. How come when you diverted the freighter away from Rendier Ply, you were able to... What's that? Listen. Can you hear that, Doctor? Is there something wrong?
Yes, there is. This book for a starter. Oh, just that dial there. Turn it a bit.
Like that?
No, other way. Yes, that's it. It was just some photon interference. When it drifts through space from the galactic reefs, the TARDIS can pick it up better than the typical craft. It's rather harmless, Mel.
Oh, right. Awfully annoying though, isn't it?
To you and I, perhaps, but to some species, it is one of the most enjoyable and known sounds of space. Some even call it the music of the spheres. No one's ever proven that it's the planets that cause the interference to sound as it does. But you know what folklore can be like?
Yes, like Krampus.
Oh yes, Krampus. Well, maybe. I've always meant to get to the bottom of that one, actually.
So anyway, Doctor, what are you reading? Well, before I disturbed you, I mean. Sorry.
Oh, no apologies needed, Mel. You were concerned, and that's quite understandable. Oh, and, well...
Let's see. Hey! Peter and Wendy? Really? I mean, come on.
Now, what's wrong with Peter and Wendy?
I'd have thought you'd be reading some massive book on string theory or planetary motion.
Oh, no, not at all. I don't mind those. But sometimes the wording can get awfully wordy.
I see. Very eloquently put forth in a style of vocabulary that would evoke a sense of precise formality. That sort of thing.
Exactly. And, well, no one ever talks like that.
No one?
Well, almost no one. Anyway, it does no harm to keep in touch with some written magic here and there.
Are you ready now, Katy dear?
Yes, Nana.
Now here's a new one for you. Once upon a time, all over the cinnamon worlds, the dusts blew, finding their way into every home, sneaking in and lining the snacks of all the old people in a rich dark red colour, and then melting into the drinks as a golden honey colour. Then they left, gone off to the horizon, the land seeming to turn off in the night. Once upon a time, the cinnamon worlds...
Doctor?
Yes, Mel?
The dusts blew.
The static noise.
If it's bothering you, Mel, just turn the dial all the way
Doctor,
and...
put the book down, please. Come here. There's something definitely not right now.
The dusts blew.
I can hear a voice.
A voice?
The
A voice?
Finding their way into
My word, you're right.
Well, of course. I'm not prone to imagining things.
No, of course not. That is most strange. It sounds rather like...
Fairy tale. Yes, like a storybook.
Like Peter and Wendy, but something much stronger. Somehow. I wonder how they're doing that.
Sorry, I was in a little world.
I'm going to try and locate the coordinates of the originating source. Whatever is doing that must be incredibly powerful.
I mean, it can't be that dangerous, can it? I mean, if it's just a voice telling a fairy tale.
You might think so, but that's exactly what J.M. Barrie said to me at first.
Wait, what? Ah! Whoa!
Are you alright, Mel? Hold on tight!
Oh, we're crashing now, aren't we?
I'm afraid so, Mel. It seems that we're falling down the empty trail of whoever that voice belongs to. Wherever they are.
And whenever.
So what happened next?
Yeah, go on. I'm rather enjoying this story. Reminds me of when my nanny used to tell me about the tales of Doolabati.
Ah, well, that's the thing, you see. I sort of don't remember the rest. Well, I told you that I pulled what I could from the TARDIS telepathic circuits and her ability to recollect events that have happened around her. Wasn't there for most of what I just told you. That's the best thing the TARDIS could pull up, before that explosion. That's where the record gets damaged for her, and I don't remember the rest. It's like it's been erased from my mind.
What? Just like that? Gone?
Yeah, well, the more I push at that, the more that little bits of it come back. Been piecing it back together slowly here and there. A story with no end. Frustrating when that happens, really.
So hang on, you just told us part of a story you can't remember to pass the time. Come on, Doc, you could have given us something more. You really don't tell us much about the past.
Yeah. This is like when I tried to ask you about Pythagoras.
Yes, well, I thought it'd be better for you to hear the story from him. Not my fault that we ended up on Pythagoras 3. Easy mistake to make in the time vortex. You'd think someone would signpost some of it. Anyway, short story's better. Just needed to pass a little time. If I'd told you about the time I had to deal with giant green maggots and a crazy supercomputer, well, it'd take a few hours. And what do you know? There we are, perfect timing.
A darn sight convenient if you ask me.
Oh, not at all, Graham, not at all.
So, that girl and her nan? You never found out why they were important?
Someone and their nan. Always important, Ryan. Spectacular, in fact. Yours, Yaz's, all wonderful.
Yeah, I guess so. But there was more to them in your story. And you don't know what that is. Feels kinda sad to have forgotten like that.
What? The
Family.
adventure? Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Still, just because all the answers aren't there doesn't mean it's forgotten.
Like with me and Nanny. Even before we found out what happened back then during the partition, she never forgot. She carried that with her. And she passed that on to me, even when I didn't know.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Want to find out where T-Bow's at. How do you pretend to have an inflamed kidney again? Ah, never mind. I'll figure it out on the way.
Catch you later.
Bye, son.
Bye, Grandad.
So, Graham?
Yeah?
How's Ryan coping? I mean, because I know it's hard, like really hard.
Well, we're getting there, Doc. Those last couple of trips have really helped him. And me and all.
Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that it's helping. I just wasn't sure if my story might not have helped.
Oh, don't be daft. What we do in this box, going where we go and doing what we do, he's loving it. He might not say it much, but he does, trust me. You're making such a difference. Grace would be so proud of him. If you asked him, he'd tell you just how much this all matters.
I'm sure she would. Sorry, I'm still not great at the asking thing, like asking him. Does that make sense?
It's fine, I get you. You've seen dozens of beings and seen so many skies, but you've not had to deal with teenagers. You're allowed to not be able to say it, not be able to ask him yet. You'll find your way. Trust me on that, Doc. Took me time enough to get more than 3 words out of him. Way back at the start. I mean, you two. You've gotten very far with him in a very short amount of time.
Thank you, Graham.
No. Thank you, Doc. Anyway, I better go as well. I've no doubt that Dursley and Ian will be waiting for me. Might have a drink or two. But I promise you, I'll be right as rain by the time I step back in here.
He's right, you know. You don't need to always get it right.
I know. It's just tough.
Always is. Finding a way to get others to open up in their own comfort zone. And to open up. But we know that you care and you're trying. Me, Ryan, Graham, we know. So don't worry about that.
Of course, I'll try my best.
Besides, after I've had cinema night with my parents, I'll be right back here and so will they. And I promise I'll help where you need it. For getting through to them, whether it's you helping them or whatever. We'll find our way.
Absolutely. Well said, Yas. Now off you go. Better get home and sorted for that cinema night.
Yeah. You could come.
Oh, no, I'm fine, really. There's a slight Cronin spillage on deck 57 and a few spare console rooms I want to try and find, and I might get to draining the boating lakes if I still have time. Plenty to do at any rate. Yasmin can't, don't you worry. You go and enjoy your night.
Okay. See you soon.
I know. They'll be fine. I'll be fine. Look, I don't need to tell them about that. It's not something to worry them about. I know. But well, telepathic circuits are a bit different from heart to hearts. Mind to mind, really. Oh, mind to mind. Like that, Doctor. You're welcome, Doctor. Use that at some point for someone really brainy and special. Will do. Oh, look, talking to yourself again. Always odd when that happens. Sort of hard to stop. They don't need to know that I can find out more. Well, yes. I'm going to try right now. I'm going to be completely fine. Now, come on. Let's do this. Telepathic circuits, here we go.
Mel? Mel, are you all right? Mel? Why have you... No, of course not. Frozen time track.
Interesting. Now, why did this happen, I wonder? Something to do with the story? Think, Doctor, think.
All right, you can come out wherever you are. I am not going to play games with sycophants like yourselves. Not after last time. I don't care who happens to be in charge of your sad apology for a council now.
Council? Oh no.
I apologise for the interruption, Doctor.
How is this possible?
Apologise? Apologise? You have my friend frozen in her time stream.
On the contrary, Doctor, you are the one that is frozen. If I may, Melanie Bush is continuing onwards in this particular strand of time. However, I'm afraid that continuation will not matter, as it happens. Due to certain events that have occurred, there are some ripples upon your time stream.
Ripples? Time Lords? Always interfering. What did they do now? Probably decided to try and mess about with Skaro again or something. Always kept telling them not to do that.
Due to the actions of one of your past incarnations, actually. The fourth one to have called themselves Doctor. Time has been rather adversely affected.
Adversely affected? You mean to tell me that once again I am being impacted upon by my past?
Yes. Unfortunately, I have had to burn through one of my regenerations just to get this far through your time stream. The chronal winds have been rather quite a pain. Unlike the somewhat controlled manner of the recent Kurtzreimer incident, we unfortunately have had no control upon this disruption to time. You are being splintered, Doctor. Splintered and unsplintered, written and unwritten, and oh so much more in the grand scale of time. There is the one who curates, he who burns, Commentator Sigma, the grandfather of wicked paradoxes. And from what little contact I've been able to make with the council themselves, I hear that there is even a splinter line upon which there is a Doctor of War. History is subject to occurrences, reoccurrences, and unoccurrences.
Unoccurrences?
Oh, so that is what happened. Oh, that's bad. Very bad. But then, how can I remember?
Your entire life is now unbound by the web of time. I am rather afraid that I have arrived too late for this particular junction in time as well. Too late to have any sort of changing effect upon the distortion. Unfortunately, Doctor, another temporal aberration is about to occur.
Temporal aberration? No, I simply will not have that. Events undone and paved over by another timeline. Absolutely not. I will not stand for.
No. Phew. Sorry, old girl. Don't know what happened there. No. Wait. Yes, I do. Temporal aberration. shorted the matrix link slightly. Oh no, I'll need to fix that. Telepathic circuit's completely fried. No uploads or connections to the matrix unless I... No, I mustn't. I can't go back, not after what I did last time. I can't. What could I ever say to the General? What could I ever do to make amends for that? And besides, temporal aberrations, I need to figure that out. Head's still a bit shaken, but the one with the scarf, something happened with that one, and I need to figure out what it was. No, they can't stay here. This isn't an adventure. This will be only completely and utterly dangerous. Might have to talk to myself a lot, but much better this way. We need to find the nexus point where all this started. So where could be a point for disruption on that scale? The development of the Daleks? No. Would have mentioned Daleks. Morbius. Dead? Skaroth? Earth is still around, so probably not. What? Oh, what? Distress call? Right, okay, distress call. Let's add that to the to-do list. Let's see. Still can't quite get a reading on it. No, wait, 46th century. If I just fold back the signal and decrypt the Venusian ATR cryptex.
One can hear me. This is urgent. I repeat, urgent. Code 1 encrypted.
I'm coming.
All other fleet vessels.
Can't hear me.
We are under attack.
Receiver damaged.
I repeat,
damaged by what? Energy weapons? Projected energy weapons, that means...
It's the Daleks. I repeat, the Daleks. SS Lusitania is under attack from the...
No, not today. Daleks, not today.
I repeat, the Daleks. SS Lusitania is under attack from the Daleks. We are in urgent need of assistance. The Crystal of Ore is at risk.
There's no time for any explanations.